Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James, they beefing. I'm going to take a position. You're going to be surprised which one I take. Tune in to find out. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Hoop Jargon back with another video. If you would take a sec to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, please. All right, let's get it.
Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
Okay, there's LeBron coming hot on the Pat McAfee show. And he's basically laying out his thesis that he does not really care about criticism as long as you keep it in bounds the realms of the court, as in performance, as he said, and things that you're doing pertaining to basketball, because his goal is to, quote unquote, protect players. And I got to say, now, if I lay this whole thing out, Stephen A. got a way about himself. LeBron has a way, and it just so happened we're going to start on Bron, baby. LeBron, that is such cap. Hoop Jargon, what do you mean by that? We're going to show you real quick because one Kendrick Perkins, who used to be your homie, used to be your ace, soon as he brought up something about you and the stuff you do on the court and around the court, guess what you did? You unfollowed him, my boy. Don't believe me, though. Roll the clip.
Everybody didn't follow Jesus. I'll be okay. Stephen A? Hey, Perk, you're up first. Any thoughts on this one?
All I know is this. I just respect the hell out of the fact that you, as a former player, just like you as a former player, Shannon, just like RC and Swagger and all that stuff, you're going to call it like you see it, man. I just want y'all to know I appreciate it, especially when it's that damn funny. That was the damn tweet of the month. Yeah, I just looking at something. I'm like, what? Jesus? And he said they didn't follow. Some folks didn't follow Jesus. I'll be fine. I'll be okay. Hilarious. Perfect response, because these cats try to act like, yo, you can't have an opinion, and oh my God, if you feel differently than them, you ain't worth the damn. Bump all that. I ain't mad at you, Perk.
Imagine unfollowing me on Twitter, but you still got to wake up and watch me on TV every day, because I ain't going nowhere anytime soon. That's number one. Number two, I think LeBron James got sensitive over the last couple weeks because I've been calling him out or have to speak on certain things that he may disagree with, like the firing of Darvin Ham or the coaching search for the Lakers, or even having to touch on the Bronny James situation when it comes down to dealing with the draft. At the end of the day, everyone on this television, including USA, because you and I over the last 3 years, and Molly, you could contest to this, we have been going back and forth. And name me somebody, probably other than Shannon, that has been coming on here lobbying and defending for LeBron James like I have been on the basketball side of things.
That's totally true.
And totally true.
So as we see right there, we all know how LeBron has an influence via Clutch Sports, where you control the head coach with Darvin Ham, where you control the situation with the head coaching search, which metastasized into his podcast bro, JJ Redick, getting the job. A JJ Redick who never had a coaching job in his life. And then with Bronny James getting drafted at 55 when, as we know, his requisite talent did not deserve that. But that's neither here nor there. All those things were in bounds with basketball. Nothing personal. These are things that affected the Lakers front office, and the Lakers front office, i.e. / roster, right? He didn't talk about him going out and partying and doing something and getting caught, proverbially speaking, with his pants down. He kept it within the bounds of basketball. And guess what? You got unfollowed. And I know y'all saying, Hoop, man, you've been a little too sensitive about this. But you got to know, in this day and age, especially LeBron, he has this penchant, as it were, to be passive-aggressive. That's the way he kind of conveys his points. So him unfollowing Big Perk, who's been his partner, who's been a big advocate for LeBron since forever, that shows that he ain't quite practicing what he's preaching. So, Stephen A., I'm going to get on your tail too, boy, because you have a propensity to stretch the truth on a lot of issues, and one of which when you talked about LeBron James' attendance of the Kobe Bryant Memorial. Roll the clip.
There's a lot that we don't talk about with LeBron James. Remember when the memorial service took place for Kobe Bryant? I'm quite sure he had his reasons. LeBron was devastated, loved Kobe. We get that. I can't believe I didn't see him there. Magic was there, Jordan was there, Shaq was there, Steph Curry was there, D Wade was there. The NBA community was in attendance. We didn't see LeBron James. Two of the most conspicuous, biggest moments, albeit for completely different, and in Kobe's case, absolutely tragic reasons. We didn't see the face of LeBron James, the face of the league, one of the preeminent faces in the world of sports. And every time we turn around and we ask these questions, it's like throwing shade. It's not throwing shade.
Now, this is when Stephen A. first kind of floated the idea out there that he didn't see him there. Now, I know what y'all saying. Okay, that's not really a big of a deal. But then he doubled down last week and said that he called him out and says, you weren't there. You weren't there once he got in his feelings. But Diana Taurasi got something different to say about that. Roll the clip.
Her skill was undeniable at an early age. I mean, who has a turn-away fadeaway jumper at 11? LeBron barely got it today.
All right, so as we can see, LeBron James was in attendance. You may not have saw him. That doesn't mean he wasn't there. So that's one captain that you've done. Oh, and wait, there's more. Stephen A. Smith has this everything, ever-going fable about him playing basketball at Winston-Salem State. And listen, man, my whole thing is I didn't have a phenomenal Division I career, so I'm not here to lambaste that man as if the time he had there was not valuable. But he dresses stuff up so much that Jason Whitlock had to do it to him. Whitlock had to do it to him, and he brought up the fact that the stats that he showed about it and his injury he had is a little bit felonious. Roll the clip.
You'll never see his knees because he's claimed he's got a 6-inch screw in his knee.
They talk about I averaged 1.5 points a game. I saw some article on social media. That's a lie. It was less. See that? You didn't know I was going to say that, did you? It was less than that. It's a lie. How about 0? Because I never played, because I cracked my kneecap in half. I got operated on at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. My mama was by my bedside. My sisters came to see me. They said I'd never walk straight again. My bone cracked in half. My first year at Winston-Salem State. I still have those knee pains to this very day. Still. In the knee that still has a 6-inch screw in it that I never took out. And in the left knee, because I spent years overcompensating for the pain in the right knee. You didn't know that, did you?
They installed a vagina in Stephen A. Smith's left knee so that it could hold a 6-inch screw. The man has a knee-gina, so they can hold a 6-inch screw.
He also got bust out about his teammate, who he said was 6'3", and in the footage it shows he ain't nowhere close to that. Roll it. All right, so we heard that with Stephen A, man. And it gets better. It gets better. He also goes to talk about how he made 17 threes in a row and got a scholarship, which doesn't happen.
He got a scholarship to Winston-Salem State. There we go. Because he made 17 straight three-pointers in a workout in front of Big House games. And they offered him a scholarship on the spot. This man is haunted by these lies. He's put a video together, and it's all out of insecurity. He's being minimized on ESPN as it relates to NBA coverage. KD and these people, even though they won't acknowledge it publicly, they're calling him out clearly, privately, like, hey, bro, you lying about this basketball career. You lying about the whole thing.
He also talked about a teammate who he said was 6'3", and when the footage rolls, that ain't quite the case, but don't trust me. Roll the clip, man.
Remember he was running around with the guy Gary, I can't think of Gary's last name. He's a midget that he said he played
Coleman?
basketball. No, it might as well have been Gary Coleman. Gary Stevens, yeah, I think that that guy. Stephen A. 6'1". The guy next to him was at one point listed in the Winston-Salem State paper as a 6'3" two-guard recruit at Winston-Salem State. Stephen A. is 6'1". The guy next to him used to be a 6'3" two-guard at Winston-Salem State. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he was involved in Stephen A. Smith's angina surgery.
All right, guys. So you guys get the point that Stephen A. has a penchant to stretch the truth. So I laid out what LeBron James has a propensity to do. And I can go further. Listen, look no further than LeBron James' top 10 lies on YouTube on your own time. I promise you, there's a basis behind my statements. But I want to give video evidence that these guys are two dudes who don't really stand on what they say in the regard of the game of basketball. So you don't have to pick a side. You don't have to pick a side. Because Stephen A. didn't say anything personal to LeBron, but LeBron took this personal. Why is that? Because that's his kid. But LeBron also said that he's about critiquing players. And guess what, my boy? Your son is a player for the Los Angeles Lakers. So the hypocrisy goes all the way around. So ultimately, the point I'm getting at, this whole beef is a nothing burger. This is about two dudes who had beef for 20 years, and it finally boiled over. So you're seeing them running to Pat McAfee telling his story. You see Stephen A. running to his channel telling his story, running to Gil's Arena telling his story. You don't have to take a side. Let them parse it through, sift through things that make sense, and go from there. You don't have to overthink this whole thing, man. And so I just want to lay it down, man. So, because I see on the internet, a lot of people just are, you're so open. You're so willing to take a side and chastise the other party because it basically, it verifies what your current bias was for a certain person. So all I'm saying here is just take a step back, take everything at face value. And it's not always what somebody says, it's what they do. So at the end of the day, stuff like this, man, this is entertainment, man. This is the WWE. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, both sides are wrong. It's entertainment. Listen, this is what keeps the machine moving. Stephen A. with his $100 million 4-year contract, Bron making his $50 million a year. Guess what? Both of those machines keep turning. You keep talking. You keep commenting. At the end of the day, both sides are wrong, in my opinion, but both sides won. And that's my honest take from Hoop Jargon. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like the video, please comment, subscribe if you're new. Let me know how you feel about this, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.